Closer. Closer.
I think
It's
it's
not
okay.
when you turn that blue check machine.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. All right, guys. So good to connect with you. We are live today for learning pathways to web design, and we're going to start shortly. Just wait for a few people to join us.
I don't know where card is.
I don't think so, but I
Where's the
may use
memory
it.
card?
He was supposed to invert this, but he did
I
not.
invented.
Thank you. So a couple of things we're going to look through today is the design process and purpose of the site and marketing tool. That's what websites are to and becoming a web designer. All right. Okay, so can you hear me now? I'm sure you should be able to hear me right now. Okay, so can you hear me now? Sure, you should be able to. Oh, fantastic. So yeah, so I think that at this point we can get started, and yeah. Okay, so welcome to Pathways to Learning Web Design. This is going to be a continuous event live here on Instagram, where we're going to take on different topics relating to design, different aspects of design, and then take the time to kind of create some sort of pathways for those of you that want to learn design, so you know what you need to do next. Especially in our day of learning on the internet, a lot of people usually get confused when it comes to learning anything relating to design, because there are a lot of tutorials, a lot of classes, master classes here and there, and sometimes it's very difficult to navigate your way when it comes to learning design, and specifically when it comes to web design, with the number of design tools out there, number of design programs, design classes, and so on. It's easy to get confused about the different aspects of learning design. So what I'm going to do in this particular video, which is going to be our first, is to give you a breakdown of some sort, so you can have some sort of a bird's eye view of the landscape of design, you know, and specifically, like I mentioned, web design. Yeah. So first and foremost, let's talk about a website. What is it mostly used for? I mean, this is something that many of us are familiar with. We use it all the time. We use websites to, you know, access information, perform certain functions, maybe to register for a course, or, you know, some other thing that we might do with a website. And when it comes to building website, there are a couple of different ways you can achieve that, and that's the main purpose of our conversation today. So first of all, let's talk about the purpose of a website. Why do people build websites? Why do they build websites? And what I want us to see and to understand is that there are two major reasons why people build websites, why people set up websites. And number one is to share information about their brands, about their company, about who they are as individuals. And the other reason is for people to be able to perform a certain function. For instance, when you think about an e-commerce website, it's a platform where people come to buy. So they get online and they make a purchase of whatever it is that they want to get. So that's another purpose for a website, right? To perform a function, either to buy something, maybe to upload a document, maybe to, you know, maybe to, like, some people have betting websites, for example, and you have websites that are used for different purposes. So your website can do either of these two things. It can give out information about your brand, about your person, about your company, about your product, or it can be a platform where people can perform certain functions. They can buy something, they can request for an information, they can download a data, they can, you know, maybe whatever. I mean, there are a couple of different purposes for building websites. So those are the two major functions of a website. And when it comes to the real sense of it, the business sense of it, a website is a marketing tool. So which means primarily it is used to market product and services. Apart from the fact that it can be used to, you know, perform certain functions, it's used to market product and services. So people who build websites typically do so because they want to market themselves. And this is a very vital information for those of you that are interested in learning about web design. They are interested in understanding web design, because you need to understand what websites are meant to be for. If you don't understand, then you're going to have a hard time deciding on what aspect of design or what pathway you're going to take in learning about web design. So understand one thing, a website is a marketing tool. And because it's a marketing tool, and the people who build those websites are mostly building it for the purpose of promoting their brand or their businesses, it means that they do not necessarily care how you go about building those websites. What they care about is that they can have what they want done. They can, they can fulfill their business objectives, which is, for instance, to market their product and services or to get people to buy those products and services. Okay, so now having talked about that and having clarified that, you will notice that a lot of website building technologies out there, some of which are designed for ease in building websites, and that includes WYSIWYG tools and tools that require a level of technical experience. Okay, so there are basically two major ways you can build websites. You can build website by developing it from scratch. So let's say, for example, you are a developer and you're into coding. You can build website using codes, or you can build website using an application that will allow you to create a website. However, the application does the work of a developer in the sense that it still gets to produce code at the end of the day. Such applications include things like Squarespace, Wix, which are some of the most popular ones. And then, of course, you have applications like WordPress, which is a very robust platform for working on websites. WordPress has the capability to allow you post and publish blogs, but it also allows you to be able to build websites, okay? And then because it's an open source system, it means that a lot of people are contributing to the codes of the framework to make it easy for people to be able to create websites. Now, one of the advantages of platforms like WordPress is that it's a content management system, short for that is CMS, content management system. Now, typically, if a developer builds a website, they code the website. As the owner of a website, if you want to update your website, you have to contact the developer to edit the website for you. But a content management system allows for even a person who doesn't have any idea about how the website was built to be able to log in and make some changes to the website. So that's what platforms like WordPress are useful for. Okay, and it's very useful when it comes to website development. I've actually met a lot of developers, a lot of designers who don't like to use WordPress. They don't like to, take advantage of what WordPress offers because they feel that it's not for them. They just believe that they should code their websites. They should build it from scratch with coding language. And when I talk about coding language, I'm referring to things like JavaScript, and I'm referring to HTML, HTML, that's hypertext markup language. I'm referring to things like CSS. Now, these things may sound a bit technical for you at this point, but when you come to class and even post this class now, I'm going to share more about some of these technologies. Okay, so a developer typically builds websites using those core technologies I've mentioned, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. He builds it from scratch. He codes everything for you from scratch. But if you don't have the technical skill to be able to code website, you can take advantage of what is called WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get platform, WYSIWYG platform. That's where applications like Squarespace, Wix, and the likes fall into place, okay? And then you also have, for those of you that are familiar with WordPress, you also have things like Elementor. That is also a platform, a WYSIWYG platform where you can build your website. Now, when you hear about things like Webflow, and you also hear about Figma, I'm going to break it down for you. So Figma is more of a wireframing tool, okay? And it's also a prototyping tool. By prototype, I'm talking about the fact that prior to making your website a living, functional platform, it's also possible for you to, create the entire interface, what the user will see, the look and feel of the site, prior to putting it on the internet. So it's possible to do that, to put that on the internet. before you put that on the internet, rather, to kind of create what that website is going to look like. You know, that means that you, after you've done your sketches of the various pages, you then go into this application called Figma or some other tools like Just in Mind, like InVision. There are a couple of them, Balsamic, you know, Axor. There are a lot of them. You go in there and you create what the website is going to look like. Okay, it's not functional. It just sits on your computer, but someone who looks at that thing will go to have a picture of what your website is going to look like. So these are called wireframing tools. They are called prototyping tools, and they are called interface design tools. But after you've designed that thing and people can see it, they can actually work with it. It's not live yet. It's just a sample, so to speak, a prototype. That's what you hand off to the developer to now make into code for you to live off of the internet. Now, what is coding? Coding is simply talking to the computer using computer language. It's as simple as that. You know, and there are a couple of computer languages that I've mentioned already: CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So these are different tools, different applications for building website. Now let's talk about the typical web design process. What does it look like? How is it done? So now typically you have a client approach you and indicate their interest to have a website built for them. And then you have a conversation, maybe negotiate the price. And once that is done, once that is settled, the next step you want to take is you want to start the research process to try to find out more about the client, more about their industry, more about their audience, the people that are going to use the website. Why do you do that? Because you want to find, you know, the connection. You want to find, you know, the sweet spot between what the owner of the website wants and what the user of the website will want. And that will form what is called the website goal. So then after you've done your research, you start planning the website, you create your visual plan, and then you start using prototyping tools rather, and to you know, create what the website is going to look like. And from there you follow on to coding. You know, that's if you take that approach. But if you are not using codes to build your website, you can then follow on to using tools like Elementor if you're working on WordPress, or tools like Webflow if you understand a bit about interface design. So basically that's how the process goes. And I know a couple of you may want to have questions, and some people are requesting to join us. Yes, so if you have a question, I'd like you to go ahead and ask your question, and I will try to answer. You can drop in a comment. I'll quickly pick it up and answer. And if I need to clarify some things, I mean, bring it back to my attention. I know I've been a bit fast here. You may likely have a replay of this posted for you to review. So let's have questions if there is any. Let's have questions if there is any. So I'm waiting for your questions. I'm waiting for your, you know, feedback. Yeah. So any questions? So let me know if you're live with us, if you've ever tried to build a website before, and how did you go about it? How did you go about it? If you've ever used a website before, how did you go about it? Yeah, Faith, welcome live. You want to ask some questions? Go ahead.
Okay, hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, I wanted to ask, having listened to all you've said,
how did you go about
especially about web design, I wanted to ask, like, where's the best place to start as a web designer?
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, so that's a good one. Yeah, so when it comes to starting, I think it depends on where you are, or rather where your interest lies. Okay. Now, some people are inclined to coding, right? And if you are someone who would love to learn how to code, then I think that's the best place to start. But if you're someone who has no interest in coding, then I mean, you can start with learning design, learning the fundamentals of design, because you can have a very functional website, but the look and feel of that site is going to affect how the users of that site perceive that site, and if they even spend time on it. Okay, so that's a critical thing that you need to be aware of. You need to know that your presentation, because a website works. I told you, like, there are two major functions. Number one is to give out information, and the other one is to perform a function. Now, people want to be able to look at your website and feel like they are the right place. I mean, they want to have a good experience, so to speak. So you should be able to learn how to communicate in the most exciting and interesting way. Good design sparks people interest. Good design makes people interested in what you're doing. So whether you learn coding or you learn design, you still need to know how to make sure that your site looks exciting, looks interesting. Okay, so, but if you feel like you want to go, I can't really say, but if you feel like you want to go into the coding aspect, you can start there. But if you want to also go into the design aspect, the visual design aspect, you can go in that direction as well. But whether you learn coding or visual design, it's still important for you to learn how to present your site in a way that is exciting and inviting to your target users. Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I have a question here. Aisha is asking, how long does it take to learn web design? How long does it take to learn web design? Well, I would say it depends on how skillful you want to be. How skillful do you want to be? That's the main question. Do you want to be average? Do you want to be excellent? Do you want to be super excellent? I mean, that's my qualification. So you can learn web design in a weekend, actually. You can learn web design in a weekend, but I want you to also know that it takes time to master anything, right? It takes time to get really good at anything that you want to do. So that's very critical. Yeah, so while it's possible to learn in a weekend, in 2 weeks, in 3 months, in 6 months, it's also important for you to understand that, hey, for me to really get good at this thing, I need to get deep into it. I need to get really deep into it and understand how, how it works. Yeah. All right. So I don't know if we have any other question. Someone asked to join us to have a conversation. I think it was Ibo case. Yes, I think she's off right now. If you are still there, you can ask to join again, and I'll bring you on. I hope I pronounced that well. Okay, so that's it. And since we don't have any further question right now, okay. Okay. I'm trying to. Yeah. So if Bible case is online, you can connect with us. I don't think I'm able to connect with you here. Perhaps it's from the network. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can bring her on. Well, if you can't connect, I think you can as well go ahead to share your question in the comments. Yes. Okay. Okay, so she's unable to join. Well, I guess we can stop there for now. If there's any further question, I would like to take it, and you can equally drop it in any of our posts, whether it's on our reel, it's on our story, or on any of our posts, and I'll be able to answer those questions. So thank you so much. And I think we can stop here for now. It was great talking to you guys, and we'll be connecting again by next week, I believe, which of course is going to be our open day. So we might actually have the event stream live here on Telegram, and you'll be able to join us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone that has joined us today. It was exciting to have you connect with us, and I look forward to connecting with you next time. Do have a wonderful day. Bye.